Hello everyone, thank you for joining us today on the program Health Delivered. I'm Adisu Osawagia. Today we want to look at the reasons for celebrating World Oral Health Day. Yeah, that's what we're going to be looking at today. What is it about? Because once you hear that thing oral, the next thing you're not even thinking about the mouth. We're looking at every other thing but the mouth. But it's important that we take care of our oral health. So today we have two distinguished personalities in the house, and they're going to be helping us with all of this. To my immediate left is Dr. Eloho Okonrai. I always have to think of that name before I call it Okonrai. I hope I got it right
yeah,
today.
You did.
All right, she's the Assistant Secretary NDA here in Benin City, UVTH branch though, and seated beside her is a gentleman, former president of the Association of Resident Doctors, University of Benin Teaching Hospital. They are both here. They are specialists when it comes to oral hygiene, and they're going to be taking us through the reason why some of us don't go to dentists. I don't know. All right, so, and some have never ever been to any to say, how does my mouth look like? Oh, is it beautiful? Yeah, your mouth can be beautiful if only you take care of it. So doctors, a pleasure to have both of you join us today. So let me talk. Let it not be that we are segregating you. So let's talk to the gentleman first. So talk to us.
Even those ladies first.
So that you don't feel bad. You have two ladies on set and it's just you.
All right.
So that you don't think that, okay, we are pressing you and all of that. That's not our intention. That's what we want to ask you first. We know that it's ladies first. So that tomorrow you know that ladies are very considerate. So talk to us.
Okay,
what are we celebrating and why are we celebrating and what's the reason for it? And we celebrate it year in, year out. Yet the awareness is not as huge as we want it to be.
Okay. Thank you so much. It's a privilege to be here again, and here in the capacity as a member of the Nigerian Dental Association to create awareness as it concerns our World Oral Health Day program that is coming up on the...
It's not your program. We're talking to enlighten the public now, so let's not...
World Oral Health, so this is World Oral Health Day awareness. World Oral Health Day is celebrated on the 20th of March every year, and the idea of that, just like every other health days that are celebrated, is to draw attention to our oral health and the importance of taking care of our oral health.
But you see, year in, year out, we set aside this special day to create awareness on the need for us to take care of our oral health. But unfortunately, the target is still below what we want it to be.
Yes.
Let's look at Edo State now. How many people come to the dental clinic to come check their mouth, except of course if
they're in pain.
Except of course when they're in pain. So
yeah.
how many people have really come to say that, okay, doctor, I'm here, come check me out? Let's see, you know, how many people do you see like that every day?
Now we know that the awareness is not as it should be, but I must let you know that over the past few years, as ND, as an association, awareness has stepped up greatly, and we have seen a remarkable improvement in attendance at our clinics. Now, we have gone a step further. You know, it's important that we catch them young also in this scenario. So we have gone a step further to ensure that we intensify school visits. Because when we reach out to the children, yes, they begin to build the habit of seeing the dentist regularly.
Let's look at the team for this year, Dr. Okonrai. A beautiful team.
Yeah.
Tell me, why that team?
Okay, thank you very much for having me. You introduced me as ARD, but though I'm ARD, but
I know you are ARD. I see you there. I was there and I saw you. So
yeah.
So let's leave it to that ARD now. When we come to your M1 thing, we'll think about that. So let's do our ARD now. All right. So talk to us. The team.
Okay. So the theme for this year is a happy mouth. Is a happy body. Actually, this team was and it came about last year September at Sydney. Is a world from the World Dental Federation. Is a worldwide thing. All right. So the team is going to span for the next 3 years.
Because that team got me.
Yeah, it's going to span for the next 3 years. A happy mouth is. Then this year we're talking about a happy body.
So how do we achieve that happy mouth, happy body?
Yeah, so the idea is for us to educate the public, to also empower them to know what they need to do to have this happy body through their happy mouth. And when we say happy mouth, we mean having a healthy mouth. So we need to educate them on the importance of having good oral hygiene. And there are so many ways to achieve good oral hygiene.
Okay, Dr. David Orewere, talk to me. Halitosis.
Halitosis,
Let's talk about, because when you said happy mouth, happy body, halitosis is one thing that makes the body ugly.
It will interest you to know that halitosis is one cause of broken relationships and broken marriages.
I can imagine.
And so it's one of the reasons, I think it's one of the top 3 reasons why people come to the dentist, because either they have been told they have bad breath or they perceive that they have bad breath. Okay, halitosis is also what we call bad breath. Are you sure
people can really perceive if they have
Yes,
halitosis?
People can. People have come to the hospital and told us by themselves that they have bad breath. And
maybe because somebody told them and
they
decide to heed.
No, there are
some person will fight you if you tell them I beg, they can.
So, but whichever way, when they come, we do our own what we call clicking, asking questions.
Yeah.
And through the questions that we ask, we can properly situate them, because when it comes to halitosis, we have various categories or various classifications of the halitosis to know whether it is a true halitosis or it is a false one, what we call pseudo halitosis. There's even what we call halitophobia.
Oh, there's a false one.
Yes, there's a false one. People think they have bad breath.
But
there's the feeling that they have bad breath, but they don't have. So by our assessment, by all of our checks, we see that they don't have. So that makes us to now properly classify them, and perhaps there may be a psychological component where we may now need to refer them to the psychiatrist to do some assessment and help them out.
Oh, fantastic.
And for such cases, let me just put in a word in that. You know, we encourage people to brush twice daily. But you find that there's some people that brush even more than twice, because they want to get a spanking clean mouth or teeth. And perhaps halitosis is one of the reasons why I have bad, but let me just keep brushing so that my mouth will feel better or my teeth will be cleaner.
Does consistent brushing help?
No, it's not even in the consistent brushing. Perhaps the way they brush might also be an issue.
Okay, let's look at the signs and symptoms before you tell us the way they brush. What are the signs and symptoms of halitosis, one? Then what are other things besides halitosis that can happen to the mouth?
Okay, thank you. When you say signs and symptoms of halitosis, I think you mean the causes, of halitosis. Okay, so there are various causes.
Okay.
We have those that emanate, that's the cause that is originated from the mouth itself, and also we have this others from the systemic. When we say systemic, that's other parts of the body. And from those that occur from the mouth, we have dental caries.
Okay.
When we say dental caries, that's the common term that people call hole or toothache, as in when they have a hole in their tooth or tooth decay, that's dental caries. Then we also have periodontal disease.
Okay.
That's when the supporting structures of the teeth are affected. Then it can also lead to halitosis. Then also when there is presence of abscess, ulcers in the mouth, then even the common cause of halitosis when there is poor oral hygiene, that's you are not cleaning your mouth properly, is definitely going to cause halitosis. Then other parts of the body, when people have diabetes, for example, you can present with halitosis. Then kidney diseases, they can also present with halitosis. So, in as much as we have the local causes,
the mouth can actually tell if somebody is going through a lot.
Yes, of course.
Exactly. That speaks to our team now.
So that's why we say when you have a happy mouth, the body definitely will be happy.
Okay. Yes. Now, tell us reasons why somebody like me should see a dentist. Because let me break your heart. I've never ever seen one, but I've been to your department. I've taken my kids there.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't know. There are so many people like us that don't feel like, what's the use of going to the dentist?
Yeah.
Like, I don't have very good dentition. You know, some are into others, but I just said to myself, I don't grow now, so what's the need of going to change my dentition? Tell me why I should. And there are some persons like that want to like.
Okay, now it's important, just like we have, you know, there are people that go for regular, what we call regular medical checkups.
Yeah.
Just like people go for regular medical checkups, we also advocate that you go for regular dental checkups. Now, you don't have to be in pain first to see the dentist. A lot of people come to the dentist when they are in pain, and that you find out that the problem has gone a long way, has gone far. Okay, it has escalated, as it were. And you find out that what you would have treated while it was at this very small stage, you have to now spend more, of course, to treat it at the escalated stage, as it were. So coming to see the dentist regularly in the first instance helps you to check and know if there's anything going wrong with your teeth or in your mouth generally. Okay? And so if there's something going wrong, it can be nipped in the bud on time. If perhaps there's a hole in the tooth, when, for instance, so let's start with a hole in the tooth. When a hole in the tooth starts, you will not feel any pain because this white part of the tooth that you see, which we call the enamel, is the hardest substance in the body.
Okay.
And so when a hole sets in, you won't feel pain. But subsequently, when the hole begins to progress into the dentine, what we call the dentine is the inner part, and then we have the innermost part, which is the pulp. That's where you begin to, where we have blood vessels and nerves, that's where you begin to feel pain. So if it would have been easier to feel a tooth at the enamel stage, or why the decay was at the enamel stage, why do you now wait till when it gets to the pulp stage where you feel pain? Okay, so it is the regular visit that will help us to identify these holes or any other thing that is wrong with your teeth or in your mouth, and then put it in order.
Okay, there's this thing we usually hear on the street. They say when you have worm in your teeth, when you have something, you use one, they'll give you something. Come, let them give you substance. You put it in your mouth. When you wash your mouth and then you spit out, you see the worm and all of that. How true is that claim? You know, all these people that you see them around in small vehicles and all of that, ringing bells, using megaphone, and then they have serious patronage, serious patronage, and there's this substance they use now. Come and brush your teeth with this thing. You know, they are everywhere.
Touch and go.
Yes, touch and go. You really know it. And then you see people buying. Yeah. You know, it's very surprising to see that number of persons coming out to say, okay, let's patronize this set of people. Perhaps because they are cheap, they are accessible, and they see the dentist office as something that is very far from them, and unaccessible. So talk to us about these things. Are they safe?
No, they are not. That it is cheap does not mean that it is good for you. Okay, so a lot of them want to capitalize on the fact that I can get this thing cheaply off the street. And then especially for some of them, when they are in pain, they are looking for something very quickly to sort out that pain. And just walking along the streets, they encounter these people. They use alcohol. People use a whole lot of things. We hear a whole lot when people come to the dentist.
Use a lipstick to
you don't want to know. So it's a responsibility that we have now to continue to step up awareness. You know, like we spoke to our team just now. What we have done, or what the World Dental Federation has been doing over the past few years, is to sustain the team for a period of time, so that message sticks.
But it seems that message is with the elites, not to the set of people that is supposed to go to, like those in the villages. Even some educated ones are not
necessarily.
Well, because that, let me speak. As regards the team, a happy mouth is a happy body.
Happy body.
At least it is assumed that everybody understand what is happening, because by the time we start using our dental terms, nobody, even the elites will not understand.
Don't use your dental terms. So
all right, some elites may not understand. So that a happy mouth is a happy body is plain enough for at least someone that understands English to grasp. So that's why we use that term. We could have used a bigger term, but we chose to use that because they consider it, because it's not just in Nigeria, it is worldwide. Yes, it's not just in Nigeria. So when we in Nigeria, we have the role to now break it further for our people around us.
And this, some of our people, we know they hear what, like some of us like this. I've never seen a dentist. Now, there's this thing that I really was interested in when I was young, this thing that you have. And I'm so jealous of you. But I was reading somewhere where it was said that is a defect. Is it true? That are open to, sometimes we even use coin to want to force it open.
Well, actually, the orthodontists, they are the ones that, as in we have different specialties in dentistry, and the orthodontists, they are involved with the aesthetics and the arrangement of the tooth. And the cause of this diastema, it's called the diastema, or in layman's term, open teeth. The cause of it is due to the labia frenum. There's something called the labia frenum that is attached, that is high up. So That's led to the space there. So it's actually a defect to the orthodontist.
But
in our environment, some part of our country, some person actually create it for themselves. What they do, they tend to file it and remove the enamel, like you said earlier on. The enamel is a covering. It has no nerves. It has no blood vessels. So when you take out the covering, you expose the other part that have nerves and then blood vessels. So sometimes once, even naturally, once the enamel is out, the dentin is exposed, you start having shocking sensation. And for those that did that, they do not even know what is going on. Then the next thing, bacteria and all gets there, it gets infected, then from the dentin it goes into the pulp. And that's where the trouble really starts. That's when they say, I could not sleep. You see them early morning, they are the one waiting for you at the clinic because they are already in severe pain. So the idea of creating the diastema, if you want to actually, if you really need it, I think the orthodontist can actually create for if you want that.
If you want it, you can
yes, but
don't do it yourself.
Yes, in a very healthy way, not the going to grind it and all.
You see all of them creating fashion homes, they do that a lot.
Yes. So you can actually do that in a, but though it's not advisable, but if you really want to, then it can be created in a more scientific way, not
that's a good one, because I was really interested in it until I think I interviewed some orthodontists here, and they told us that it is wrong, it is a defect, and I read about it that it is actually a defect. Wow, what a beautiful defect, you know. Okay, moving on, let's look at our kids and their mouth. I actually saw a kid with is like this normal tooth is like half and sharp and shaped like a nail, you know. Thing came out like that, one like that. What could be the reason for that?
Okay, there are different defects we could experience with children and their teeth growing up. I want to believe that the one you are experiencing is what we call a peg-shaped lateral. There's the appearance of a tooth that is called a peg-shaped lateral. Okay, for that, when we see defects like this, they can be corrected. First of all, we want to assess and be sure properly that it is what we see in the mouth. We will need to take x-rays to properly evaluate that. And it can be with the there's a discipline in dentistry called restorative dentistry. The restorative dentistry can help you put that tooth in proper shape. That
and you'll be able to use it well.
Yes, you'll be able to use it
well.
So
at what point would it be impossible for somebody to use, is it dentures they call it now, artificial tooth and all of that?
Okay, if you're going to use dentures, it means that you have had a missing tooth. Okay, so if you have a missing tooth, and interestingly, dentures is just one of the options of replacing a missing tooth. There are many more options. Just one of the options.
What other options?
We have, okay, so dentures, we actually call them removable dentures. There's the fixed dentures, which we call bridges. Okay, and then for some, they may need the crowns to be attached to them. Then the one that is in, we advocate more recently, which is the more fixed one, is what we call implants. So there are studies into dental implants. So that one, once it's fixed there, it's fixed, and you don't need to keep bringing it out.
And you can eat anything with it, because sometimes they will say, don't take cold food, don't take hot food. It's closer to natural too.
That's another issue on its own. Dr. Elo, you want to speak to sensitivity?
So what does hot or cold food does to the mouth or to the teeth, as the case may be now?
Okay, like we said earlier on, the enamel, the dentin, the pulp, So when persons, once they've lost their enamel, the sensitivity, it becomes the dentin becomes exposed, and that part of the teeth has innervations. That's what gives the sensation of pain, of hot, and all.
But can it be fixed?
Okay, so once the dentin is exposed, it can be fixed. We can do a filling. We can do crown, depending on the extent of the exposure. Crowning can be done, or it can be filled to cover it up. But once it is now in the pulp, then the pulp has to be treated first before it is. Yes,
it's a long way. Now let's look at toothpaste, we have quite a number in this our vicinity. Let's look at those states, and most of them are wheelbarrows. You see people selling all sort of names. Apart from, please don't call names. Apart from the normal one that we know, the very common one, there are so many. So tell us, what kind of toothpaste should we use?
Okay. Dentists generally advise, there are a lot of toothpaste, but we advise that you use the one that contains fluoride.
Okay.
Fluoride containing toothpaste, because fluoride is what will help the teeth to become stronger. And to help, even when there is decay, fluoride can help remineralize. That's to make it stronger than the way it was before. Yes. So we advocate that you get a toothpaste that contains fluoride.
Regardless of the brand.
Yes, regardless of the brand, it should contain fluoride.
You know, with the kind of diseases we're having in our society today, maybe kidney disease and all of that, not knowing where they all come from, don't you think that all of this toothpaste that we don't know can be a contributory factor?
Okay.
Because we ingest.
Okay, so well, in as much
most
as we
times
do
when
not
you're brushing,
know,
you ingest somehow.
we actually are not supposed to ingest toothpaste. Okay, so but if at all you ingest, it's actually minimal, and most of the toothpaste we have in the market are actually endorsed.
Okay.
Yes, most of them are endorsed. At least even the NAFDAC also looked at them. Then also FDI also endorses some of this toothpaste. So it's also important we look out for those things, because we have bodies that control the
do you have a special body that controls all of this influx of toothpaste and all of that, apart from NAFDAC and
NDA?
Okay,
and
so NDA actually is also involved with that. NDA, Nigeria Dental Association, also involved in controlling the type of toothpaste that comes in to the country.
All right, we are not going to do calls today, but we'll definitely take calls on radio. There we're going to have like good 45 to 50 minutes to talk about this topic. So join us on Thursday on radio, 92.3 megahertz FM. We'll do that in Pidgin English, where even my great-grandmother in the village will understand what we are talking about. All right, so doctors, thank you for finding time to be with us today on the program.
Thank you so much for having us.
Hopefully we're going to do radio together, so get ready for the Pidgin English version. All right, people, if you have a beautiful mouth, a good mouth, you will have a good body. And if you are that kind of a person that have never seen a dentist, please find time to go and see one, even on your birthday, so that you will know what is happening, and you can also dictate other ailments from that same mouth. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.